Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Mindy here. I hope you had an amazing weekend and you're off to the start of a phenomenal week. Today I'm going to talk about a brand new fragrance release by Ariana Grande, and that is God is a Woman. It seems like Ariana Grande is killing it with new fragrance releases. Of course, there was R.E.M., and then there was Thank You Next 2.0, which I didn't even really hear much about. I just casually saw it in Walgreens. But then, of course, God is a Woman. This one I have been hearing a ton of hype about. I'm excited to share my thoughts with you. I do like Ariana Grande fragrances. I have several in my collection, a couple real perfumes, a couple body mists, and of course, now I have a mini spray. I like them because they're easygoing, they're playful, they're flirty, they're fun. I don't always crave this type of fragrance, but when I do, I find Ariana Grande fragrances to be fun to wear, they're easygoing and lighthearted. If you're interested in God is a Woman, please stay tuned and I will share all of my thoughts with you on this brand new fragrance. So first things first, I have it on my left hand, but I'm gonna go ahead and spray it on my right hand so I can remind myself of what the scent smells like. And also, this is classified as a fruity musk fragrance. This is one that is cruelty-free, 100% vegan. The carton is recyclable, and I also think it's pretty amazing that Ariana Grande is planning to donate $5 out of every perfume sold, 1.7 and 3.4 ounce, to the Support Our Oceans charity. I think that's amazing when brands like this make philanthropic gestures, they donate money. I think it's an amazing thing to do, so way to go, Ariana Grande. And I'll be completely transparent. What really made me want to try this over the weekend was seeing that it had bourbon, vanilla, and iris. I saw that those notes were listed in Parfumo, and sadly, I don't think this fragrance has those notes. When I go to Fragrantica, when I go to Ulta, the notes that I see listed are ambrette and pear at the top. There is orris and Turkish rose in the mid, and then in the base is Madagascar vanilla and sandalwood. Sometimes I wonder how similar Madagascar vanilla is to bourbon vanilla. I'm not sure, but bourbon vanilla tends to have a little bit of that booziness that I love to smell in my fragrances. This one has Madagascar vanilla. My Ulta did not actually have the full bottle in or available to sell to me at the time I was in, but I'm glad I got my hands on this mini so I can talk a little bit about it today and share my thoughts with you. The bottle is similar to Cloud in that it has a cradle that it fits into. It's a pink or purple bottle and it's rectangular. It fits into a different type of cradle than Cloud does. I don't keep those cradles. I'm not a huge fan of having them. I like my bottles a little bit more sleek, so I just keep them like this. But for somebody who's interested in that packaging, it is available, and it's kind of cool how the rectangular shape slides into that rectangular cradle. So when I initially spray this fragrance, I do get a burst of juiciness, a burst of freshness from the pear. This fragrance is sweet, not to be a surprise because it is an Ariana Grande fragrance, so I did expect some sweetness from this one. And then you can definitely get a little bit of muskiness from this. There is ambrette in here, also referred to as muskmallow, and you pick up some of that muskiness here. I also sense the vanilla and the florals there in the background, but they're playing a little bit more of a supporting role to my nose. The key players in this fragrance to me are that juicy pear that has a little bit of freshness to it and the musk. They're definitely noticeable notes in this fragrance. And one thing that stands out to me is while the pear is quite juicy in this fragrance, I do get a little bit of powderiness, and that may not make sense. I'm trying to triangulate it in my mind as well, but juiciness from the pear and just a little bit of powderiness as well. I do think there are some people that will smell this and find the pear to be a little bit overpowering, maybe even a little bit cloying. From my perspective, I do think this is probably one that people should try before they buy. You could definitely blind buy this fragrance and return it to Ulta if you didn't love it. But for me, I'm glad I didn't buy the 1.7 or 3.4 ounce bottles in this fragrance. I have heard people say that this fragrance is similar to Cloud mixed with another fragrance. I don't get that at all. I don't think it smells anything like Cloud, at least not to my nose. The one thing, if I was going to compare the two and pick out some similarities, the one thing that comes to mind is the freshness that you get in Cloud. There is a little bit of freshness from this fragrance that stands out, and I also get freshness in here. So for people that are crazy about those fruity, fresh, floral type fragrances, I do think this is one you should check out. You may really enjoy it. While I do enjoy this scent, and I think God is a Woman is a very nice, easy reach, it's a pretty fragrance, I find it to be a little bit more mature than some of the other Ariana Grande fragrances, but I don't feel like it is a mature fragrance. I'm not sure this is one I would reach for above other fragrances that I have in my collection. When I think about rating this fragrance, I would probably rate it a 6 out of 10. And for me, I have so many other fragrances in my collection that I love that are 8 out of 10, that are 9 out of 10, and some 10 out of 10s that I'm not sure that I would reach for this enough to really have it in my collection. When I think about other pair fragrances that I do prefer a little bit more than God is a Woman, the first one that comes to mind is Atara by Malul. This is somewhat reminiscent of La Vie Belle or Angel the EDT by Mugler. It's not the same as those fragrances in any way, but it's kind of a fun, fruity fragrance. And I find the pear in this fragrance to be a little bit more warm, a little bit more deep. This fragrance has a little bit more character and depth to me than God is a Woman. Again, I find it to be very pretty. I would truly enjoy it on somebody else, but for me, I will not be moving forward with a full bottle of this fragrance. I do want to play with it a little bit more because it is nice. It did last a solid 4 hours. I've had it on my hand for 6 hours, and it did tone down to maybe a little bit more of a skin scent after that 4-hour mark. But again, a pretty fragrance. I do think a lot of people would enjoy this profile, but this is one that is not for me. I have too many others on my want list that I need to move forward with in a full bottle, so I will not be moving forward with this one. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to my thoughts on the newly released God is a Woman fragrance by Ariana Grande. What are you guys thinking about this one? Do you like it? How does it rate for you? What do you think about the notes? Definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, I truly appreciate you. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lot to be grateful and thankful for. And until next time, I'll see you soon.